G'day viewers, I've got some goodies today. Television Service Handbook. Pretty much, I reckon 99.9% of any black and white TV from the 50s right through to the early 70s black and white TVs Australia ever made. There's some Japanese ones in here as well. A couple of Hitachis, Toshibas, National Panasonics. So it's pretty handy stuff. I just found my TV there. I've been chasing after TV schematics for a while, I just cannot come across them, they're hard to find. There's my one there, P117 Kriesler. Speaking of Kriesler, I also got this too. Model 11.7 from 1947. My first valve shortwave radio. It's in pretty damn good condition for what it is. That's the only part that's buggered, but they always go and shrink and carry on. Might be able to fix that. That'll clean up alright. It's a quite good performance. It's got a nice big speaker in it too. It's a very good performance, these are. It's got a nice old GEC British made plug. 10 amps, 250 volt Bakelite plug. That'll clean up alright. Original power cord, as you can see there. No way I'm going to plug that in. No way. It has been sellers on eBay with old radios like this. The cords are like that, they plugged them in and they said they got some reception, then they heard some electrical noises and the lights went out. So what they did, they cut it off, taped it back, plugged it in, and then the dial light didn't work. So yeah, if it's like that, don't bloody plug it in. I know some people do, but don't. Replace the bloody cord. Look at this end of it. Yeah. Cord's shagged. It's googled the buggery. Yeah, it's one of the first things I'm going to replace. This is never ever been opened up. It's all original inside, so it's quite a good score, this one. Anyway, let's continue on with this book. There is thousands of pages in this thing. The price I paid for it, it's a bargain. All the bloody, pretty much more than any TV schematic I'll ever need. So mine's here. Find where the P117 is for my TV there. All sorts. I'm only just over halfway through the book. Just got to find one that applies to my one. Pictures what they all look like. The only problem is when this antique mob come across these black and white TVs, they can't bloody sell them. Absolutely no one wants them. They just can't sell them. No one wants them, unfortunately. See, these are damn hard to find around here. Very hard to find. I remember seeing those in some. Never make control that they come with. TV theatre speaker wiring diagram for some of the console ones. You've got to find where my one is. I'm going to a different part now. Got to find whichever one applies to my P117. Keep looking through it and move that out of the way. These are the good old days. Flyback output current, approximately 350 milliamp. Yeah, I'll be here all day showing you through this book. It's literally hundreds of them. Mitsubishi even, transistor TV schematic, model 6P125. NEC, National Panasonic. Have a nice looking TV. Yeah, I'll be here all bloody day showing you this. Anyway, I think this will be enough now. This is part of it. Philips, all sorts of... Yeah, pretty much any TV Australia's sold and made is in here. All sorts of cool stuff. The date of this thing is the latest date, I think. Where is it? I think it's 1968, I think this goes to. Or 69. Because there was some of the models, like my P117 from 1969, was added to it. This actual, 1966. Television, JR Publications, Television Service Supplement, February 1966. This was actually the handbook that went to all the TV repairmen. This was their main handbook from the actual bloody, like, similar to the AORSM for TVs. So it's just any TV technician around here would have had a look through this and repairing old TVs. So great find that. I cannot find any schematic to any Australian TV on the internet whatsoever. Now I've got them all in here. Great find and a bargain. Let's open this thing up and have a good general overlook, look inside before we start restoring it. Nice. Very simple too. Technico Aristocrat. Technico Aristocrat radio brand capacitors there. These are the paper wax capacitors, as you can see. They've all split open. So they're googled. Googled meaning broken. Some resistors, electrolytic condenser, 10 microfarad, or 16 microfarad, peak voltage 525. Yeah, I'll desolder each one out of circuit and just by one lead, and ESR meter them, see what they're like. Yeah, they'll probably be dried out, that one. 25 microfarad, 40 peak voltage, Aerovox G-Con. Another condenser there. Now ESR meter test, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's it. 8, 9 to replace, and that's it. This thing will be pretty much a goer. Now I'm going to do a, I usually do these tests off camera, but I'm going to check transformer windings, all those sorts of things first. Rubber coated wiring, then they're okay, they're not brittle. Bit stiff, I won't touch those too much because they can split. Don't have to run heat shrink over them. But I do the usual tests. It's a flywheel tuning. Heavy lump of metal, that. Yep, flywheel on there. Yeah, the wiring looks okay, providing I don't touch it around too much. If so, I'm going to have to heat shrink it. There's the coils, oscillator coils in there. These capacitors normally don't go bad, simple expand capacitors. 99.9% of the time they're good. There's another one there going to get to. Bit of a crowded spot to get to. I'll check the resistors too. That's the main filter cap there. So 1 watt, 1 watt resistor. I was going to say a bit small for 8 watts. Another resistor in there, some resistors there. Link ups to the another resistor in there. That's your volume bearing selector. Another one there, got to replace. And that one there's our. This has a pickup input as well, so pickup or radio, shortwave. One of them could be off as well. That bolt's a bit loose, so I have to fix that. But this will restore quite well. And the top should just come off here. Which I think is those bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, and bolt there, and the top comes off because the speaker arm cloth is going to have to be repaired. It's a lot more, not a lot under here, that's for sure. Kriesler Australasia Proprietary Limited, Alice Street, Newtown, Sydney, New South Wales. You really can't really see this bit. MA, so where I am is about here somewhere. MA was there, 1390, which has been moved to 1467. It's like a console radio, how does it set up? Yeah, the chassis is obviously different, but different models are different, because there was a battery powered set version of this set, so a vibrator probably would have went there. 445k CIF transformers, that's the shortwave valve, made in Holland. Mullard. ECH33. That'd be the mixer, I think. IF amp. Yeah, wire needs heat shrinking. It's all untouched. That's the 6v6 GT output. Hang on, that one there is. Sorry, it's a black one. American made. That one looks like it's a Philips Mini Watt 6V6 GT and a USA RCA can't remember what it was, 5Z4G or something like that. There we go, 6X5 GT. Interesting, small little American valve in here. At the time when these are made, imports of anything, including parts, are strictly heavily regulated. You know, the speaker wiring here, look at that, it's all cracked up. That's going to need some I'll probably have to replace those wires actually. This is going to get moved around a lot, so it's going to crack and short out. I'm going to have to replace those wires. Amplian speaker. It's got AWA on the cone. It looks to be in really good condition. Yeah, this is set up like a console, a large floor standing console. Made in Australia, dynamic speaker. Not for resale, otherwise guarantees void. Type 7P14, 7000 ohms. Amplian, Limited, Sydney. Yeah, this would be a good, nice, loud radio with a speaker like that. Alright, let's I guess I'll start testing windings, aiming at the transformer windings first. Then we can move on to capacitors. You always got to check the windings in your transformers first when you're doing these restorations, otherwise you'll waste your time replacing capacitors and something else could be buggered up, like a transformer or something. Yeah, let's do some windings and aiming on these windings on both the audio output and the power transformer. Okay, everything tests good. Yeah, that is a filter choke. Date code 5th of December 1947. Yeah, one winding. It's only got one winding. It's a filter choke. That's a permanent magnet speaker. I just realised, just because it looks like a would have used the chassis of the speaker. They would have made that same speaker earlier on, filled coil type. They just use the same chassis and everything. Just this system here's got a permanent magnet. So the choke is here, instead of it being the filled coil being the choke, because it hasn't got a filled coil, being a permanent magnet speaker. The audio output transformer here tested good too. So everything's good there. All we're going to do now is move on to the now we can start replacing capacitors. There's some sneaky ones I've got to get to in there. Well, let's start changing some caps. Okay, new power cord, earthing point secured. That makes this earth connection obsolete. I'm going to leave the wire on there just for antiquity purposes. I tested this, that was pretty close to being spot on. That tested okay, that tested okay, that tested okay, although that gave it in circuit leaky reading because it's in circuit obviously, they're all in circuit, but they're tested good, except for this one. Way over 40 ohms, way over 40 ohms and very bad. So that one is probably the only electrolytic I got to replace. The rest of these are reform. Usually though, you do have to replace them usually, but I don't think I've got any much spares left, so I'll give these ones a chance, just mainly this one to reform. I'll turn it up on the variac slowly, bringing the voltage up very slowly. I'll see if I can hook this amp meter up with the radio. When it reforms, the amps will go up, then drop back down as these reform. So that one now is a 25 microfarad 40 volts, so I should have plenty of those to replace that one. Now I'm not going to power this thing up yet because these are cracked. So they're shorted out, these are paperbacks caps. Basically if I were to turn it on now, it will just hum. So they're going to block half the signal getting through and block half the audio getting through. So it's going to let mains ripple go straight through to the speaker. That's all they'll do. So time we'll replace these. Now, this Technica aristocrat. This actually is the same aristocrat that's making poker machines today. So used to be, they started with radios, this company. Now they're into making poker machines. And they're making a killer too. It's got the pickup thing there for my iPod. Sweet. Alright, let's yeah, I think I'm gonna have to need the schematic for this one. Definitely, because I can't see any oh there they are. 0.01 microfarad, 600 volt. Does say in there. It's a good thing I never adapted the bumblebee technique. So this technically company copied off AWA by the looks of it. Put the mod of their paper wax capacitors in their in this type of resin here, and didn't use a colour code, which is a good thing because a Bumblebee colour code is an absolute pain in the ass. So there's Bumblebee caps. I've got the specs straight on them. So 0.01 microfarad, 600 volt. That looks like it could be a 0.01 as well. That could be a 0.04. That could be a 0.05. Judging by the size. The rest are all G-cons. Anyway, let's start by placing these Technico capacitors. Then we move on to the G-cons. Yeah, let's start off with these ones first, then we'll see how we go. Another one there to replace. Okay, if you want to do it, this is how I've seen some YouTubers do it. Replace the one tested bad. So this the one that tested bad here, one bad electrolytic, definitely open circuit. This one here tested good, which is one of my older second-hand ones. That'll be formed okay. This will do as a replacement, as I don't have any 25 microfarad. I don't seem to have any new 25 microfarad caps. I've only got 33s. So yeah, let's see how it performs. I've got to stop any damage being done. Jiggly pokery and a very, very small load. So that little flow pump motor, the variac. So the flow pump motor will prevent the rest of the radio being damaged from short of the paper wax caps. That stores a charge too from those time switches, so I get a spark off that. I touched those pins once and it didn't, it quite hurt. Turn it up slowly. That's 60 volts. I'm going to turn it on. That's on there. .40 volts input. Yeah, not enough to light the valves up. Half mains voltage. Light off. .160 volts. Yep, the rectifier valve is just starting to warm up. 180 volts. Turn it back down a bit. Give those caps a chance to reform. Now I've got the flow pump motor as a ballast again. It's only a small load, that one, so it should prevent valves going bang and everything else in between. 180 volts. Yep, the rectifier filament's just starting to glow. Obviously can't see that one because that paint on there is actually a shielding. There you go. There my input's at. I don't know which one's which. Got some revision to do on a schematic, I think. Whoa!
Call George 5023 3333.
I need to replace that one cap. It probably wasn't necessary, you know. I don't think it was necessary replacing this. Although,
1467 as we broadcast from the Forex Golf.
Bit of interference there, doesn't look good there.
Thanks to Tabas Precision Engineering.
Yeah, you're still there to replace them, but it's promising.
Easy mix 1460. This is what we mean when we say more variety.
Leakage of these will cause bad sound and Popping interference, all sorts of nasties.
Easy mix, 1467.
240 volts.
Now being done for this afternoon and this company. A sensational weekend wherever you get up to.
Yeah, the motor's starting to go.
Tomorrow we're going to leave you with Matthew Wilder. Break my stride, easy mix, 14.
Turn it back down. Yeah, she's getting a bit, let those reform. Good volume control. Shortwave. Must be here the external input selected. Good song. Antenna. I'll connect the antenna up. Reduce voltage for safety. Keep it at 200 volts. Yeah. That motor draws 0.4 amps. I'm guessing this will probably be about at least half that. The dial amps look like they're blown. Well, let's connect the antenna, see how it performs on all the stations so far, but it's promising. 240 volts input. Half of it's been ballasted.
Have information, the feud between the Comancheros and Hells Angels.
Yeah, there's a little bit of hum there, so they can never go away after a bit.
Violence this weekend.
I will need to replace those eventually, but
Explosives found at businesses across Melbourne's outer southeast this week. 10 people have been arrested in...
shortwave. Yeah, Chinese propaganda. Too much interference.
The Asia-Pacific region is raising eyebrows in that region by cancelling yet another visit. The announcement is the clearest indication yet that the White House thinks the US government shutdown won't be over anytime soon.
Simon Marks in Washington.
Yeah, ballast is essential to protect that transformer in case one of these goes short.
Says the barley sample
And valves.
ahead of normal, despite Mr. Obama's decision not to attend. Dr. Bollard says it's disappointing.
But it will be louder. The ballast is reducing some of the power, so
He says Mr. Obama's absent not hold up APEC threat to free up trade.
okay, back to AM.
That's the discussion that we are just...
Another front that's going to cool things down to 21 for Thursday and Friday with a few showers around the place. Right down the city, 24.
Summer lovers will be jumping for joy this weekend. Daylight savings starts this Sunday morning.
Yay.
Don't forget to do a tour of the house and change all the clocks, watches, mobiles, ovens and PVRs.
The cloth on that speaker's got a lot of gunk in it. It has to come out and be cleaned, so that's what's rattling.
Your smoke detectors too. Don't forget, tomorrow night is the start of daylight savings. Spend more time with ABC South Australia and Broken Hill.
Somewhere here.
This is Drive with Michael P on 891 ABC Adelaide and across South Australia and Broken Hill. And our buzzers are just
Supposed to be there.
raring to go in the buzzer drone for the
But-
second long weekend.
The Commonwealth did shift the AM band around a little bit in the 70s, so that's not really the radio's fault. The AM band has been modified through its time.
The buddy's on its way.
to cause trouble. One protester was forcibly removed when she jumped on a fence to try and stop workers from entering.
Only getting hum with a strong reception, so yeah, that sounds like a capacitor problem. Now they actually get the pickup input to work, does not use a switch. You have to pull this out, and that decouples the radio signal from the amplifier stage, and you can plug your input in there for your whatever you want. MP3,
elderly people in particular have been fantastic. The 20-year-old man has been charged after he allegedly conducted a lewd act
Of a woman at Sandown Park railway station last month. The man has been charged with stalking and indecent assault and has been bailed to appear in the Dandenong Magistrates Court on the...
So far, so good.
in finance.
That'll be enough on this for now. Thanks for watching.
The dollar is buying